Hi everyone, hope you're well. This video is going to cover some crystals that are good for when you're feeling a bit fearful, a bit anxious. Given the current situation, lots of new people awakening at the moment, lots of new people on the start of their journey, don't know where to begin, feeling quite ungrounded, a bit scared. Might not even be on the beginning of your journey, may just be feeling a bit fearful and a bit anxious. So in this video I am going to go through some of my favourite crystals to use for fear. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comments and the DMs, and I really hope you enjoy this. Thank you. So first things first, I'll also talk through how the crystals relate to the different chakra points in the body and what those different chakra points sort of help us find out about ourselves and what's going on in our life. So the first one, really important one, everyone should have this in their toolbox. Tourmaline. If you can see it there. So it is black tourmaline is the one that I'm talking about. There are many different types of tourmaline. This has got green on the bottom, but we're just talking about black tourmaline for the time being. Looks like this. So tourmaline, as any black crystal is a great crystal to help transmute negative energy, to protect yourself against negative energy, to help you from taking on other people's crap, basically. So sometimes when we aren't grounding ourselves properly and we are out and about, or if we're, talking to friends or family, they might be feeling a certain way, and especially if you're an empath as well. An empath, for those that don't know, is someone who can pick up the feelings of others, can feel them within themselves. So for example, you may know that your friend has broken up with his or her partner because you can feel how upset they are before they even tell you. If you're one of those people, hi. So tourmaline is a really great protective crystal for protecting your own energy and stopping, energy vampires from clinging and picking up your good light, and also to help you ground and feel a little bit more settled in yourself. Now, black crystals are generally associated with the base chakra. So this is the chakra that is at the bottom of your spine, and this helps, as I keep mentioning, helps us to feel grounded. And if we don't feel grounded, then we can feel very erratic, not being able to put sense into our feelings, our emotions. We might feel like our head is in the clouds, we can't process things, we can't think clearly. It can also affect our life purpose and how we're feeling amongst everything else. We may just feel lost. If that's you, get yourself some tourmaline. Now the next crystal I want to talk about is, let me find it, Herkimer Diamond. So these ones are little tiny ones. I hope you can see them okay. So they look a little bit like quartz, but the difference is with Herkimer Diamond, they're quite sparkly and they're usually shaped like a diamond. Now quartz is an amazing crystal in itself, but Herkimer diamonds can help with stress, fear, tension, anything that you're holding on to that is not good for yourself. A lot of us sometimes think that we need to hold on to energies because we're not really sure how to deal with it, but that's not always the best thing to do. The best thing to do is to, let go of anything that no longer serves you and draw in the energy that you have given out to other people. So Herkimer Diamond is a really good crystal for helping you with fear and stress. The next crystal I want to talk about is Aventurine. This is a green polished piece of Aventurine. If you can see it there. I love Aventurine. When I first met this crystal, it doesn't look like much, to be honest, but it is extremely powerful. And if we go back to the chakra system and we think about how different colours relate, because each of our chakras has an associative colour. Green or pink represent the heart chakra. So all of these colours can help you to unblock and clear those different chakra points. So green Aventurine is a really good protecting stone. I carry this a lot when I travel. Those of you that know me know that I have travel anxiety, and this really helps me for that. It helps to calm your emotions, helps to kind of rationalise those things. And if we draw that back to the chakra point that it's related to, the heart chakra, you know, when people tell you to think with your heart, not your head, or think with your head and not your heart, this crystal really helps you to neutralise the thoughts and feelings that you're having and just clear through what is actually true and what's not, and just help you feel a little bit calmer in yourself. So that's green Aventurine. The next crystal I want to talk about, another root chakra crystal, is Carnelian. I've got two different pieces here. So I've got one palm stone piece. You can see that there's sort of the orangey colour in it as well as the kind of deep red. Lovely to hold and rub in between your hands. And I've got an angel piece as well for my personal non-working connection. Love this one. Shout out to the crystal tree where this came from. So Carnelian is, I say notoriously, it's known as being a feel better stone. When we look at the basic chakra set of crystals, Carnelian is usually in that set, if you like. It's a great starter crystal to help yourself feel better, to unblock those chakras, and it helps you to bring courage as well. And I think when we are facing times of fear and adversity, unrest and unsettlement, we need a little bit of courage in our lives to make strong decisions and to form ideas that are going to move us forward in our life rather than hold us back. Now, when we think, again, going back to the chakra points, when we think about the base chakra, which is red or black, I associate it with red. When the base chakra is blocked, we can sometimes feel like we don't really know which way to go. I mentioned before, you may be feeling quite lost. So Carnelian's a really great crystal to help you reform your power, if you like, you know, bring the energy back to you. And I mean, I'm sat here rubbing this one. I love polished carnelian. If I ever get stressed out and I only need some time with your crystals, I just close my eyes and just rub it gently and just kind of feel that courage coming back to you. Yeah, it also enhances your personal power. I think I may have mentioned that. I'm just looking at my notes. Of coming back to yourself and knowing that you are courageous, you are powerful, you are love. Remember those things as well. So that's Carnelian. Now, I mentioned quartz before. As those of you who know a little bit about crystals know that there are many different types of quartz. So this crystal is called Smoky Quartz. So it's like the darker version of quartz, if you like. This is a raw piece that I have. So you can see there's lots of different points within it. It has the dark at the top and goes into a lighter form at the bottom, where it would have been in normal clear white quartz or perhaps some calcite. Smoky Quartz. So like, well, being part of the quartz family, Smoky Quartz is notoriously, I say a master healer. Quartz is the master healer, but anything that's got quartz in it is going to help you in any aspect of your life, really. But Smoky Quartz is particularly great for helping you feeling negative. Basically every book I've ever read on crystals tells me that Smoky Quartz is great for transmuting energy in a room, as is rose quartz. So for example, if you are having an argument with someone, or you feel like there's tension, or there is tension in your relationship, or just in your house, Smoky Quartz helps you to transmute that energy and make it lighter and more positive, I find. Now, I've shown you this one particularly with the point because, as we know, energy is transmute time and space. It can go for anything. But I like to, when I'm placing my crystals in certain places around the house, put it in the direction that I want the energy to go in. So if we think about crystal grids and we're using quartz points, when we're pointing the quartz points in, we want it to come into that center point. If we're pointing it outwards, we want it to come out. So if you feel like you're feeling quite negative, if you just again hold it pointing out away from you and just rub it as if you're rubbing the negative energy out of your body, and just feel yourself becoming lighter. It also helps with feeling despair. If we feel like our mind is so full that we don't know how else to deal with the emotions that we're feeling, and there's nowhere else to turn, it's really, really great for those of us that have mental health problems. It really helps to transmute that energy, and to kind of add a clearing to the cloudy storm in your head, if you know what I mean. Hopefully this makes sense to you. So yeah, smoky quartz is really great. Having it as a point is great because it helps direct the energy as to where we want it to go. If we want it to come out, we go out. When it's come in, point it in. Okay, next crystal, love this crystal also, is Celestite. Now, I thought originally that I had some polished Celestite, but only recently did I realise that it's really difficult to get polished Celestite because it usually forms in sort of geode raw forms like this, and actually if it's polished, it usually means that within the polished stone these raw points are all pointing inwards. So interesting fact for you there. Now Celestite, you know me, I love connecting in with angel energy, and Celestite is an amazing crystal for connecting in with your angelic guides. And if you don't believe in angels, or the word doesn't resonate with you, just think about you connecting to spirit, helping you find source, helping you to find clarity. Just looking at it and feeling it, I just feel love and happiness and just really light. Now, when I'm using this in my crystal healing sessions, Celestite usually goes in the crown chakra, which is the chakra above your head. Mostly because it helps you to connect to that outside body world. And when we are finding that chakra is blocked, again, we may have lost our way with our inner world and our outside of ourselves world. You may be experiencing nightmares, again, despair, worrying about things a lot. So this is a really great crystal to meditate with, to ask questions to. So if you feel like you need a little bit of guidance and you're praying or meditating, whichever word resonates with you, Celestite is a really great energy to connect in with those higher beings, those higher energies, to help put you back on track, again, to help re-establish those positive feelings rather than feeling despair. Because a lot of us actually, we don't always meditate or pray or practice gratitude unless we're experiencing something negative, but we should be doing these things all the time for the positive and the negative. So it's really good to feel lighter and to connect in with that beautiful angelic energy. So that is Celestite. Hopefully you can see the little points there. Okay, next crystal I want to talk about is jet. Nothing fancy to look at overly, just a big black crystal basically. Doesn't feel as heavy as other black crystals, and obviously has a different structure to Tourmaline. If you look, the part of the way that this crystal forms is that the shards are all quite long and they go in the same direction. Polished jet stone. So like all base chakra crystals and all black crystals, it's great, as I mentioned before, for transmuting energy. But the thing that's different about jet is it helps you with illness. Now, when we are feeling fearful, this lowers our immune system, and I'll be doing another video on crystals for the immune system. This will appear. So jet is really great for protecting you against illness. As I was saying, when we are feeling fearful and anxious, that lowers our immune system. This is scientific proof. It's not just me pulling things out of a hat. So when we are experiencing a lowered immune system, we are more susceptible to illness, be that physical, mental, emotional illness. So again, if you're feeling like you're despairing at the current situation or just in your life, that you don't really know what to do, you're not coping well with the change, it is hard not being able to go out and see friends and communicate with people, and you might be feeling yourself getting really tense. Deep breath. Jet is a great crystal to be able to help you get rid of those fears and to protect yourself against any sort of illnesses that are going to come your way. Now, I will talk about how to use all of these crystals in general, but I think it's really important that we talk about this because the illness linked to it is very important. So if you feel like that you are worried so much that you're going to, when people say like, if you worry so much, you're going to make yourself sick. Very important. Jet, as I said, will help protect you against that. Now, I would either wear this. You can, if you're a lady or someone who wears crop tops or bras, you can pop it in your bra. As it goes with the base chakra, I would also put it in a sock on the top part of your foot. If you've got any pockets, carry it in your pocket. You want it to be closest to your body to protect you against those things. And perhaps if you feel like you're getting to a point where you're overwhelmed with things and you're worried and you're quite frantic, just hold it in your hand, squeeze it really, really tight if you need to. I'm doing that now, as you can probably see. And just feel it kind of going up, the energy of it going up your arm, taking away all of that pain, all of those worries. Or rubbing it. I quite like to rub crystals. It's quite a comforting thing for me. What crystals have we got left? We'll go into Labradorite next. Now, Labradorite is one of my most favourite crystals ever. I'm a bit of a magpie for shiny things, so this is a raw piece. I do have some polished pieces as well, but this is just a raw piece. As you can see, it's really flashy. It usually comes in like a greyish kind of colour, but then it flashes blue, orange, you can get purple. It's just absolutely stunning. Many of you may have seen that I wear it quite a lot as well. Now, the thing that I love about Labradorite is everyone has their own kind of feelings around it. It seems to do lots of different things for lots of different people. But for me, Labradorite helps me with psychic attacks and just generally picking up other people's energy. Now, talking about psychic attacks may seem very strange at the moment when we're talking about the topic of fear. However, as we know, there are entities out there that like to feed off of us when we're feeling particularly negative or positive, but let's just talk about negative for the time being. So when we're in a low vibrational state, when you say start the day as you mean to go on, even, have you ever noticed before when you wake up and you're in a really bad mood, and then you might find that, you go to snooze your alarm and you turn it off and you fall back to sleep, then you wake up, you don't have time for breakfast, and you get in a car, then you're in a traffic jam, then you're late for work, and then you find out you've got loads of work to do, you have to work for and everything just goes on. When we're in a low vibrational state, we attract that energy back to ourselves, and other things feed off of this negative energy, which is not good for our immune system, our psyche, our mental self, and it's definitely not good for fear, because we will stay in that low vibrational state, keep repeating the fear cycle and keep giving out our energy, which again makes us feel more drained. So coming back to psychic attacks and entities that feed off of our energy, Labradorite is a great crystal to help you keeping your own energy and not letting other things feed off of you, entities or otherwise. I cannot recommend this crystal enough. It has, I say saved my life, that may seem a bit dramatic, but if you go back through my feed, you'll see that I wrote an experience I had with Labradorite, and it did not save my life, but it was there in a very important time in my life. So check that out, Labradorite, and it's amazing to look at. I feel like every angle we see, you just see something new. It's so wonderful. Love it. Okay, last crystal. Number two, because I said Tourmaline was number one item to have in your crystal toolbox wherever you are at on your crystal journey. Hematite. Again, not really much to look at. It's just silver. It's very heavy. Hematite is the number one crystal for grounding. Now, I've spoken quite a lot about grounding. What does grounding mean? So when we're feeling ungrounded, we can feel really unsettled in our energy. I keep saying we might feel lost, heads in the clouds. We may feel like there's no connection. You can feel like you're in a bit of a dissociative state where you feel a bit numb. You don't feel anything. Hematite is great for mental processing, to help us give that clarity as to what's real and what's not real, help us feel grounded and secure in our energy, helps us to unblock the root chakra. For me, if I feel like I am projecting out of my body, this may be a bit more down the line for some people, but if I feel like I am coming out of my body a little bit, it really helps to anchor in and remember that I am in this physical body at this time. Obviously, we don't always have to appear in this physical body, but for when I'm feeling like I need to, for example, when I'm flying, that's really difficult for me because inside I feel like I need to come out. So hematite's a great crystal. Again, I would put this in my shoes, I would keep it in my pocket, I would rub it, wear it in your bra. I take hematite with me everywhere I go, in every bag I have, when I go to the gym, in my car, if I'm going out, I have it near my bed, I have it downstairs by the front door. It's an amazing crystal for grounding and feeling secure about yourself. So those are all the crystals that I mentioned for fear, and I'll just quickly go through and say how I think you could use them, but obviously you just go with how you're guided to use your crystals. So Tourmaline, you could set up a Tourmaline wheel, which is a protection wheel for yourself or your house or somewhere that you work. You could keep this by your bed or anywhere that you feel susceptible to picking up other energies. You could keep it in the corners of the room, or again you could keep it on your person. You may like to have them in like a little pouch. This is quite a big pouch, but sometimes people carry a select few crystals in a pouch. The only thing I would say with Tourmaline is that obviously it's quite rough, so if you've got any delicate crystals like Celestite, for example, or any other polished crystals that may be susceptible to chipping, maybe just carry that in a separate pouch. Next, we've got your Herkimer Diamonds. I would sleep with these. I would keep them perhaps on my forehead, under my pillow. Put them on your side table next to your bed or windowsill or something if you don't want to have them on your head. Again, you could hold them. They're really nice to meditate with if you just have your hand out flat. Just putting a thumb on the crystal, just connecting in, closing your eyes, connecting with the crystal and just seeing where the journey takes you. Again, you could use them in grids. These ones are quite small, so you could use them in grids. Or yeah, any sort of work around the head, really. So next, Aventurine. I would lay down and have this on my chest, feel it, and then breathe in with the crystal. So imagine you're breathing in the energy from the crystal and breathing out any negative energy that you're holding within yourself, allowing yourself to feel lighter. You could also, again, put it in your bra. If you don't wear a bra, in a pouch, keep it in your pocket. I would also hold it on my stomach as well, because that's where we hold a lot of our feelings. Or sleep with it behind my head. on a pillow, obviously. Which one was next? Celestite, I think. This I would never carry because it will get broken. So I would either set this up as a grid or put it next to my bed for when I'm sleeping, or carry it around with you and put it in certain locations wherever it is that you are. As I mentioned before, it will break, so don't put it in a pouch of any other crystals, and please, 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 please never wash this with water because it will break. I'll end the video telling you how to cleanse your crystals. Cleansing crystals, by the way, just means removing any energy that may have kind of got sucked into them from you having them. Carnelian. So as I mentioned, you could have protective angels that go on the side and just sit and watch over you. You can program the crystal, as in you can tell it what you want it to do. So if you say, I want you to help me feel better when I'm not in control of my thoughts, or I'm not feeling great, that crystal will do that for you. Make sure that it's cleansed first, especially if you've bought it from a shop where other people may have picked it up. Otherwise, rub it between your fingers, feeling how soft it is. The senses are a really great way to meditate. So shutting your eyes, just rubbing it between your fingers, breathing in, breathing out, holding it against your stomach flat, lying down or sitting up, whichever is more comfortable for you. Again, you can put it in a pouch. Probably wouldn't wear this in my bra because it's better off for the lower half of the body, for the chakras there. Yeah, so that's Carnelian. Which one was next? Smoky Quartz. So again, you couldn't really wear it, although I have worn citrine similar to this before, so it's up to you. You could keep it in a pouch. My friend Ben, hi Ben if you're watching, used to carry crystals in a pouch around his neck, so you could have a single crystal like that if you haven't got any pieces as necklaces. I would personally put this in a room that I'm in to direct the energy to come out of me, perhaps pointing it out a window, or if you're lying in bed, just pointing it at the bottom of your bed away from you, or diagonally towards the door, just so that it wards off any negative energy to leave the room and leave your space. Labradorite, I think, was next. So Labradorite I wear. You could, how would I use a piece of Labradorite? It's so strange to think about it because I just wear it all the time. I just have it. Labradorite, because of the spiritual connection, really great crystal to meditate with. So you could have it on your lap in your hands, flat like this, closing your eyes, just breathing in with the crystal, breathing out. You may want to rub the crystal to see if anything comes to you, or you could just leave it on the side. You may like to have a little display of crystals for how you're feeling at the moment. For example, if you have all of these crystals together, excuse me, you may just want to have them in a display next to each other, and just make sure that they're not near water, because obviously, as I mentioned, Celestite is it will break. I don't think it's soluble, but it will break. And don't put them in the sun either, because one, the colours will fade, and two, the heat can bother some crystals. So I would either put this on the side or I would wear it. You could, again, obviously keep it on your person or put it in a grid, but those are just my two preferences. Jet, 100% would wear. As I said, keep it in a sock, rub it, keep it in your bra. Again, you could put it on the side. Again, you can see I'm rubbing it instantly. So I'm sure you'll find that you've got your own way of working with jet, but that's how I do it. And then hematite. So I keep this in pockets, bras, bags, random places, just on the floor, or in, because it's a grounding crystal, they do quite like to be on the floor, or in, oh gosh, it's left my brain. Just in the car. I think that's what I was trying to say. They do work lovely as grids as well. I do use this quite a lot with crystal healing as parts of grids. So yeah, hematite. Cleansing crystals. Everyone has their own beliefs. I'm not here to challenge anyone's beliefs. My own personal preference, if you like, for cleansing crystals is sound, because sound has its own vibrational energy and it doesn't physically damage the crystals. So you can play them music, you can play them crystal singing bowls or Tibetan chimes, or sing to them, whatever it is that you love to do. That is the best way, I think, to cleanse your crystals. So I would do a cleanse before I'm going to use them and after I'm going to use them. If you've had them set up in a grid, maybe I would cleanse them once a week. Don't forget to recharge your crystals as well after a little while, and if they move a little bit, to readjust them. Some people like to place them in soil, or leave them out in the moonlight or the sunlight. Again, just do what you're guided to do. But remember, some crystals are more feminine energy crystals and wouldn't like the sun, and some are more masculine energy crystals and wouldn't like the moonlight. So perhaps just do your research a little bit on that before you go ahead there. So those are some crystals that I recommend for when you're feeling quite fearful. I will be doing another couple of videos, one for the immune system, crystals for radiation, and for those that are on the beginning of their awakening, ascension, some crystals for your beginner toolbox, if you like. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please let me know in the comments below if there's anything else you would like to know about the crystals I have discussed, and I hope you're well, and I look forward to seeing you all soon. God bless, take care, much love.